How to fix Amazon seller support, frustrations, and unresolved ticket cycles to get clearer answers, faster resolutions, and avoid the loop. Have you ever opened a seller support case, got the same canned response, and you're still chasing follow-ups later and you're still stuck? You're not broken. The support system is, but the way you approach cases makes all the difference. Today we're going to talk about why seller support is so frustrating and why most sellers stay stuck in endless loops, and most importantly, how to get real, actionable resolutions faster. Amazon seller support isn't a classic support desk with a single owner. It's a distributed workflow with queries bouncing between Tier 1 scripting specialists, queues, and automation. So when a rep responds with something generic, it's often because the system doesn't understand your specific issue. Sellers often complain about these patterns seen in LinkedIn discussions and forums like Reddit's Amazon Sellers, where replies are broad and vague. They repeat policy verbatim or just copy and paste instructions that don't solve the problem. And because Amazon's system rewards templated replies, reps rarely face deep diving unless you force the conversation in a very specific way. But frustration isn't random, it's predictable, and you can learn to disrupt the cycle. Before we talk solutions, let's identify why tickets go sideways. So hi, I'm Chris Turton. I am an Amazon expert. I work with an e-commerce agency called Ecommerce Intelligence. We're one of the UK's biggest Amazon agencies. Just look up here for some of our amazing results with some of our best clients. So let's look at some of the key reasons why seller support is so poor. There's a lack of clarity in the original request. If your case doesn't clearly state the issue and the impact and the desired outcome, you get back a generic policy reply. No evidence or context. Amazon support can't infer what you mean unless you show it. Screenshots, timestamps, error text that matters. Poor escalation pathways. Reopening a case like please resolve ASAP sends it back to the same tier 1 script. You need a different pathway, not more volume. You will end up in a loop, back to square one. Frame your Amazon support case the right way. This is the SMART, SMART support case framework. S, the situation. M, the metric with the impact. A, the action taken. R, the request or the resolution sought. And T, which is your timeline and evidence. Here's exactly how you write it. Let's look at this example. What changed? On example, on December the 10th, my ASIN, B0, whatever, was removed from the buy box. This isn't emotional, it's specific. The metric, the impact, needs to quantify the damage. This caused a 78% drop in daily sales and 23 fewer orders per day. Numbers change how reps see your problem. The A in action taken, show what you did already. I verified inventory, my pricing, and automated repricer settings. This then supports your credibility. Now go on to request to them. Tell Amazon exactly what you want. I request a buy box reinstatement review for BO XX, whatever your ASIN is, after validating the following selling conditions. Clarity matters. You need to build a timeline and evidence. Attach bulletproof evidence. Screen captured buy box history. Pricing history in a CSV, repricer config screenshots, time-stamped seller central logs, no guesswork. Remember, tell, don't ask. Remove ambiguity. If you ask broad questions like, what is wrong? You get broad replies. Instead say, based on the buy box model, pricing and inventory match policy, I request a detailed explanation of the exact trigger for removal. This forces seller support to provide specifics, not templated policy quotes. Reps respond best when the input is specific and narrow. Use correct case categories and templates. This is critical and often overlooked. This is why it matters. Every time you choose the wrong category, your case gets routed to the wrong queue. This means more general reps, longer wait times, more generic replies. Here's some examples of some common misroutes. Using listing issues for buy box complaints, using fulfillment inquiries for performance suspensions, using policy appeal when it's actually an invoice or gating issue. A good rule of thumb is to match your issue to the narrowest, most directly relevant category. If you're dealing with buy box, go to pricing, buy box issue, suspension warning, performance, policy compliance, PPC indexing, advertising support, invoice documentation, restricted product or ungating. Getting the right place increases the likelihood a specialist sees it. You need to know when to escalate. The why case. If you've tried once or twice and you get back in the loop, the key is this. Open a new case, but label it request for specialist, escalation, root cause explanation. Write explicitly, this is why I need this specific request. You need the exact error codes, the specific requirements that are not being met. The next step is to satisfy that requirement. That forces a different cue, one where responses are forward-looking rather than just quoting policy. Your goal here is to really put Amazon on the back foot when it comes to resolving your issue, because if they can get out of it, they will. Remember to document everything and build your case history. One screenshot isn't enough. Amazon responds to patterns of proof. Create a case folder or spreadsheet with the date and time of each case, the case ID, the category, the support reply, next action required, and the evidence attached. This helps for future escalations and building a stronger follow-up case. You need to demonstrate the history if you ask for a senior review. Support isn't just about one ticket. It can be about how your tickets look over time. And this is a bonus. When to use seller forums and support avenues. Sometimes support replies are slower than we want, but that doesn't mean you're stuck. There's two other paths. Go to public community validation using Reddit or Amazon seller groups, or paid or partner escalation support, agencies with escalation access, including ourselves that have access to the UK Amazon agency teams. Just remember, community advice is suggestive, not prescriptive. If a solution works for one seller, verify it against your specific case, not the other way around. Amazon support isn't broken. Your approach is what determines your outcomes. If you frame your request with clarity, evidence, and specificity, you force better responses. If you want a free case writing template, the exact smart structure you saw here above, comment case template below in the YouTube comments and upload it in the next video, or I can send it over to you. Hit like if this helped and subscribe for more tactical real-world Amazon seller strategies. And remember, click up here to learn more about the Amazon margin mistakes sellers keep making, and I'll see you in the next one.